I'm Dr. Angela McKaye, chiropractor and naturopathic physician, and we're talking about the winter blues, the winter blahs, the winter doldrums. The holidays are coming up, and we're still in a period of having to be distanced and somewhat isolated, and that goes counter to everything that we do during this time of year. This year is generally about getting together, making connections, hopefully slowing down a little bit, and spending time with people that you care about. So that not being able to happen in the same way right now is just causing additional stress on top of a year that's been crazy stressful already. Last week we talked about seasonal affective disorder and depression there. And depression is really common even in a good year around the holidays, right? Because a lot of people don't have the social connections and the communities and the sense of community that we used to have. People are more mobile, they change jobs, they move states, cities, whatever, and have to start over because of their job or looking for different work or what have you. And so they may be miles away from their family already, or maybe don't have a good community that they found where they fit in and can really participate in things with other people. And that makes things challenging year round. I think one of the biggest problems that we have is that we no longer have the sense of community that we used to have in a lot of areas and for a lot of people. So finding some way to build a community for yourself can be challenging, but it's really, really important because we as human beings, last time I talked about we as human beings, we're still mammals, we're still part of nature. We are light sensitive creatures and we are pack animals. We are communal creatures. We need each other. We are interdependent as a species. So it's really important to find people in your life. And if your family is not doing it for you, find some other people intentionally to create your own sort of family to be able to do things that you enjoy and support and uplift each other as much as possible and to be there for each other during hard times. That is incredibly important and not something that as a physician I can really sort of just write you a prescription for, but consider this your prescription right now. Find a community, get involved in some things that interest you. I've been taking part in a group on Facebook that's all about knitting and crocheting and needle crafts, and everybody's there super supportive, and that may seem very superficial, but that's where it starts, right? You can ask questions and support each other through crafting, and then you start to develop relationships. And albeit virtually relationships aren't quite the same, but it's a start. So check your meetups, check your Eventbrite or things like that. A lot of times there'll be free events. Whatever you're interested in, I think you'll find something that you can participate in, however remotely. And honestly, if you're a bit of an introvert, doing something remotely can be even better because you can have a toe in the water and not have to dive full in and put yourself all out there and expend a lot of energy as an introvert when you would rather stay home. So you can have the best of both worlds, maybe just a little bit. Things that are important during the season in terms of mood, one of the biggest things is vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency is rampant, especially in the Pacific Northwest, and vitamin D being low is associated with all sorts of things. Low vitamin D is associated with depression, so you may give yourself a nice boost there with just increasing your vitamin D. There's vitamin D in milk, often fortified. There's vitamin D in mushrooms. When they take mushrooms out, they expose them to the sun to sort of cure them and get them ready to market. And there's vitamin D that's produced in the mushroom during that process too. So mushrooms are great for your immune system too. Almost any kind of mushroom that's edible is generally very immunosupportive. So that's another great thing to have in stews or food during this time of year. I'd say for most people, 2,000 IUs of vitamin D a day in the summer is reasonable. And for most people, I would say 4,000 or 5,000 IUs of vitamin D in the colder months with less sun is reasonable. Some people can take more, some people need to take more, and that's where you really have to get the blood work done. You really have to get your levels checked. If you've gone through some sort of illness, you may have used up your stores of vitamin D, so you can be really low because you've exhausted your supply going through an illness, but and you may need a boost if you're sick. But for the most part, those levels that I mentioned, 2,000 in the summer, 4,000 or 5,000 during the colder months, is reasonable for most people. But it is important because it's a fat-soluble vitamin. You don't just pee it out if you have too much. It stays around in your fat tissue that you don't want to overdose because it can become toxic. So there's research to show that fish oil or omega-3 fatty acids help boost serotonin, which can help you feel calm, serene, at ease. So nutrition in general, having an anti-inflammatory diet can be super important in terms of helping mood, and having enough B vitamins to deal with stress, and vitamin D, like we mentioned, omega-3 fatty acids. All those things are really important in being able to support you during stressful times. Magnesium can be really helpful. So making sure that you're having a well-rounded diet, all the colors of the rainbow, especially things that are in season right now. Other things that are important are connection, like we talked about. So if you can't connect in person, Zoom connection is important. You get oxytocin from a hug, but you also get oxytocin, which is considered the love hormone, from looking deep into your pet's eyes. So a lot of people have adopted cats or dogs or whatever, and just spending time with your pet lowers stress and gives you a boost of oxytocin. Other things that can be helpful are accomplishing things. So small tasks like cleaning out your closet, since you're stuck at home anyway, can give you a little boost of dopamine. You've achieved something, you've met a goal. And so I would start small with that and just give yourself mini goals to do, to give yourself a sense of accomplishment, like you got something done, and give yourself a little bit of a boost there. And we talked about last time, we talked about light boxes. Those can be helpful with depression too, any time of year, whether it's seasonal or not. But you want to be careful about artificial light too late at night, because it can really throw off your sleep. Try not to stay up late. Getting a good night's rest is really important all around, for your immune system, for your mood, for everything. Shutting things down earlier in the evening, recognizing that we are light sensitive creatures, and just because we could stay up till 11 or 12 in the summer doesn't mean we can stay up till 11 or 12 right now when the light's very low. And pretty soon, another week or two, we're going to start, we'll have met the solstice, and then the days will start getting longer again, and you'll be able to notice that pretty soon before the end of the year. It is a little bit of a marathon, but every year at the end of February, when I think I've just about had it, the camellia starts to bloom. So then I know that spring is coming, and I'm going to make it, and it's all going to be okay. Whatever you have to do to talk yourself into keeping your spirits up. I hope you are all taking care of yourselves. If you can bundle up with some hot chocolate and a cozy blanket on the couch and snuggle up and spend some time communicating with some other humans or some furry friends, that should help a lot. And I will talk to you soon. Leave comments in the box and let me know how you're doing. Thanks.